No one wants to chat about the dark side of the INFJ, one of the 16 forms of Myers-Briggs personality. The INFJs are intended to be gentle, compassionate and kind-hearted. Yeah, we're all that material, and so much more. But under stress, another side of the INFJ is coming out. While we are typically private and reserved for our emotions, we are not prone to lashing out or being dismissive of others when we feel hurt. To our friends and loved ones, seeing the grim side of the INFJ may be confusing. Take a closer glance at the dark side of the INFJ. In other words, what are some of the less than loving tendencies of this normally kind personality? Bear in mind that no two INFJs are precisely the same, and that some forms of personality can also deal with any of the above, dark, tendencies, just not in the same manner or to the same degree as INFJs do. Meanwhile, you will find that INFJs are irresistibly attractive. 1. Stubbornness. Can you see the J at the end of the INFJ? It is responsible for our obsessive planning and future-oriented vision. INFJs are capable of being spontaneous, but there will be moments when we literally cannot wrap our heads around a new concept. Often even a drastic change of plans is enough to really worry us. We're not going to the movie tonight, we're going to hang out here instead. Honestly, once we get our sights fixed on anything, it may take a few attempts to alter it. It might seem like we're being unyielding, but actually, we just need some time to get all right with a new strategy or idea. As long as anything doesn't go to our firmly held values, we'll probably come around to it, finally. 2. Moodiness. We know whether to be on the right course of action, but frankly, we're always swayed by how we feel at the moment. INFJs can seem peaceful on the outside, even though inside, we're a bunch of extreme emotions. It's usually clear that anything bothers us, but it doesn't guarantee we're going to continue to talk about it. INFJs may be accused of turning people away and tossing away a pity party. Of course, we'd like everyone to believe us, but more often than not, we find that most people don't get us even though we open up. Even INFJs may be almost as uncertain about their moods as they are about others. Like all introverted styles, INFJs need time, on their own, to sift through their feelings to appreciate why they feel the way they feel. If the INFJ opens up to you, they can also apologize for talking about their emotions. That's because we always keep things to ourselves to save you the pressure. 3. Bottle unpleasant thoughts, then burst. We are capable of adapting to the needs of others and caring as a source of warmth. However, if we believe we are being wronged, we're going to lash out. It's usually when a lot of minor injuries have built up, and our composure has been drained. We prefer to suck up bad feelings, and we'd rather keep the peace than tell anyone they upset us. Still, like any other human, we can only handle too much, so finally the powder keg of rage blows, and it's generally messy. INFJs may avoid this form of emotional outburst by correcting minor violations as they arise, rather than allowing hurt to boil and expand. And here are some suggestions from the psychiatrist to help you express your thoughts, even though you don't want to rock the boat. 4. Abruptly cutting us out of our lives. Have you heard of the iconic INFJ door slam? It's where the INFJ cuts you out of their lives because they're incredibly wounded. They don't do this because they hate you, but it's because they've realized they can't live with the emotional pain you're causing them. Note the INFJs appear to be very sensitive and emotional. If the INFJ closes the door on you, it will abruptly avoid all contact with you. If this is not possible, when they see you every day at home, at work or at school, they might either cut themselves out mentally and fail to let you in. They might still be talking to you when they have to, but they're going to feel cold and remote. The INFJs would not lock people out without deep thought. Being lawyers, we're not exactly impulsive people. Some people can underestimate how emotional we are considering our calm, everything's fine attitude. But even the nicest people have boundaries, and the INFJs are no different. 5. Awkward. INFJs can often feel uncomfortable, or even act awkwardly, but this is mostly due to their amazing sense of intuition and sympathy. They can see details that some overlook or don't know, and that makes the situation tense and sometimes unpleasant for them. Having to consider whether or not to chat about what they see, or simply try to keep it on their own, because most won't get it anyway. Often this causes the INFJ to feel tense about some people, particularly when they know more about the individual they're hiding. This makes situations stressful, and then it's just not the INFJ that's going to be awkward, but the circumstances. People don't really realize this, and then stress will make it more uneasy and make the INFJ feel like they're being uncomfortable. There are, of course, certain INFJs that may act awkwardly, and this might be because they've spent so much time on their own. INFJs who have isolated themselves can tend to feel uneasy in social environments, even though they are capable of being very charming and outgoing people. INFJs can impress people with how interactive and helpful they can be. This just isn't something they like doing all that much. They will become overwhelmed by trying to please others and play into the sense of empathy that is so deep in them. 6. Being too tough. We love giving helpful advice, and we're often able to see a situation on many fronts. If you're really wanting to hear what you want to hear, don't come to your INFJ mate. We're offering frank views, and we're trying to do it kindly to ease the blow. Trust me when I say that our honesty comes from a well-meaning place. But sometimes we find ourselves too blunt, too judgmental, or too harsh. We don't intend to be malicious, though, and we're sorry for the times we're going through. Know that if your INFJ friend is telling you something you don't want to hear, it's because they're really worried about you, and they just want good things for you. Yes, INFJs may be too brutally honest, but we are rarely malicious. 7. High expectation. As much as we like to pretend that we don't have high expectations, they're there. In addition to being brutally high, we tend to set high expectations for other people. And the closer you come to us, the higher the standards rise, as does one other significant, best friend, or child. We are particularly looking forward to love. When the excitement and romance inevitably begin to fade, we may feel quite discouraged in a new relationship. Then we begin to question whether we were in the first place right to enter into the relation. What we really want is the ideal romanticity if we're honest to ourselves. Actually, the ideal is everything we really want. Naturally, we know that nobody's perfect and we're not. Please be aware that if the INFJ puts expectations on you, they will take care of you as well. Thank you for being with us to the end. You can be anywhere in the world now and you chose to stay with us, we truly appreciate it.